presentation of Fox Sports.
We are the Fox. We are Padilla.
It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the San Diego Padres. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday evening to you, wherever you may be. This will be the 11th meeting of the year between the Dodgers and Padres. The Dodgers have a slight edge. They've won 6 out of 10. And tonight, Vicente Padilla, who's been pitching exceptionally well, and especially here at Dodger Stadium, will go up against left-hander Wade LeBlanc. Dodgers struggling against left-handers. They're 14-20. We'll get to the ball game. We'll have it all coming up for you right after this.
First place, San Diego Padres. It's Padilla and LeBlanc. And last night, as we get to our Lexus Pursuing Perfection, Ted Lilly, what a great debut.
A nice shot in the arm for this Dodger team, getting a win. This is a finesse pitcher at his best, throwing a lot of pitches that look like strikes that aren't, and then making that fastball. He could throw his fastball for a strike because it looks a lot harder after seeing all the junk. You see most of his fastball he's throwing for strikes, most of his junk he's not, and he gets guys to chase the junk and look at the fastball. So just an outstanding job. At one point he sat down 20 straight hitters for the Padres. That gives your offense a chance to win.
On 87 pitches. And this game is so important. And then to win tomorrow night with the Giants losing today, great opportunity to make up ground on both teams.
Well, you look at the way the pitching staff has been throwing. You have Kershaw, who is an ace of a staff now. Bills is right behind him. Padilla, Kuroda, and now Lilly. You have the pitching in place to win ball games. You know that the Giants have lost already today. You have to win these next 2 games against the Padres. If you split, all you did was take 4 games off the schedule and made up no ground. Right. It's too late to be doing that.
All right, well, last year down the stretch, Vicente Padilla took the ball for the Dodgers in some huge games and won most of them. So we'll see what he can do tonight. A huge game for the Dodgers. We have first pitch and more coming up for you here on Prime Ticket. Vince Scully has the call.
...2011 Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Southern California Hyundai dealers today. By Shakey's. What did pitcher Doc Ellis wear in his hair on the field? Go to Shakey's.com/trivia. By CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. And by AT&T. TV, high-speed internet, home phone, and wireless. Visit att.com or call 1-800-PIC-ATT for details. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday evening to you, wherever you may be. It's not so pleasant here at Dodger Stadium, certainly not on the home side of the field, as the Dodgers take the field to do battle with the San Diego Padres. For the Dodgers, the dressing room now resembles a scene from the television success MASH. And here's how it starts. First of all, if you were with us last night, you may remember Russell Martin tagging up, trying to score on a great throw by Chris Denorfia. He took a terrific header, tripping over the foot of Nick Hundley. We thought he hurt his knee at the time. Turned out he tore the labrum in his hip, and he is going on the DL. So the Dodgers will have lost Russell Martin for at least 15 days. They have called up the young catcher, A.J. Ellis, to back up the 41-year-old catcher, Brad Osmus, who's in the lineup tonight. Other personnel moves. Rafael Furcal with a sore back, and the Dodgers don't want to take any chances with Furcal. So Joe Torre said, we will probably see Furcal pitching on the road, which means he misses 5 straight now, starting tonight, and 3 on the weekend with Washington. With all the personnel going down, the Dodgers also sent Xavier Paul out. We told you A.J. Ellis has been called up, And outfielder Reed Johnson has been activated, a right-hand batter who does especially well against left-hand pitching. Reed is in uniform and sitting in the dugout chewing on sunflower seeds as we await the start of a ball game that is so important for the Dodgers and not nearly so important for the Padres. The Padres lead the Dodgers by 8. The Giants lost this afternoon. The amazing Ubaldo Jimenez went 7, allowed just 1 run. Jimenez is now 17-2, and the Giants now a game and a half back of the Padres, depending upon the outcome of this one. So with all the pregame news about the personnel, we'll give you the lineup very slowly in case you'd like to write it in. Jerry Hairston will lead it off, right-hand hitting second baseman, and he takes ball 1. Miguel Tejada is the shortstop, and Adrian Gonzalez at first base hitting third. Vicente Padilla comes back 1-0, fastball in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. Ryan Ludwig will be in right field, followed by Chase Headley at third base. Here's the 1-1 pitch coming up to Jerry Hairston. Padilla with a record of 4-3 comes back and it's fouled off. After Torrealba, you have Will Venable in left field. Christian Norpia is in center, and Wade LeBlanc the pitcher. On the mound for the Dodgers, Vicente Padilla, 4-3 for the year. Lifetime, he is 2-1 against San Diego, 1-1 as a starter. A roller to shortstop, tough play for Carroll, throws on the run and just did get him. Hairston flying down the line, and Jamie Carroll makes a good play, and we have 1 away here in the first inning. Carroll gloving it on the dead run, throws accurately to Ronnie Belliard, who is playing first base. Now the batter will be Miguel Tejada, the shortstop who opened the series at short, played third last night, but is back at shortstop tonight. Hit his first home run since coming over to San Diego, and he hit it against Ted Lilly in the first inning, and from then on Lilly was absolutely magnificent. Tejada batting .211, 293 lifetime home runs, and a combined 8 home runs for the year. Right-hand hitting veteran takes high, 1 ball and 1 strike. For Vicente Padilla, he has been brilliant at home. His earned run average at Dodger Stadium is 2. The opposition is hitting .189 against him. The 1-1 pitch on the way is swung on and missed, 1-2. On deck, Adrian Gonzalez, one of the top left-hand hitters in the league. And as Gonzalez waits, the note on left-handers, they're hitting .140 against Vicente Padilla. So we have 1 out, first inning, no score, just starting. And the 1-2 pitch on the way is taken, strike 3 called. So Miggy, as they call him, Miguel Tejada, strikes out. We have 2 down in the first inning. And the pitch started to look outside, and then it just came sliding back in. So Padilla picks up a strikeout, and now here is Adrian Gonzalez. Since Padilla has dominated left-hand batters, what is Gonzalez doing against him? 2 for 6 with a home run. Adrian batting .292, 21 home runs, 68 runs batted in, and the Dodgers throw that triangle defense against Adrian. And the first pitch is lifted into shallow right field. A whole bunch of guys could catch it, and it's going to be Casey Blake who finally makes the catch out of that crowded right side in short right field. So down go the Padres, and at the end of half an inning, San Diego nothing, and the Dodgers coming up. Now the Dodgers coming up, and it'll be Posednik, Terrio, and Ethier, followed by Kemp, Blake, and Belliard, Jamie Carroll, and Brad Ausmus, and Vicente Padilla. So Posednik, the left-hand hitter, checking in against Wade LeBlanc, and with that French name, he's a Louisiana boy from Lake Charles, and gets it in for a strike, 0-1. Wade LeBlanc, 6'3", 200, 26 years old, and the left-hander comes back 0-1, and he's high. LeBlanc, among other things, if you do get a base runner against him, you have to be awfully careful. He has picked off 7 so far this year. Posednik fouls it away, 1-2 the count. LeBlanc has also been struggling. In his last 7 starts, he is 1-5. They say Petco is a pitcher's ballpark, but he's 2-5 at home. The pitch to Posednik, a high fastball swung on and missed, and down he goes. Dodgers, by the way, struggling against left-handers all year. The Dodger record, 14-20 against left-hand pitchers. So Posednik bites the dust, and here is Ryan Terrio. So 2 boys from down in Louisiana. LeBlanc from Lake Charles. Ryan is from Baton Rouge. And Terrio takes high, ball 1, 1-0. Terrio hitting a solid .278. He has 111 base hits, takes a strike, and they count 1-1. Of the 111 base hits, almost half of them have gone the other way to right field. He holds up on a pitch up and in, 2-1 the count. Where Terrio went to LSU, Wade LeBlanc went to the University of Alabama. LeBlanc staying sideways in about the middle of the rubber. The left-hander's next pitch is high, though he's behind 3-1 to Terrio with Andre Ethier on deck. Dodgers trying to find a solution. They are 6-13 since the All-Star break. The 3-1 pitch is in there, 3-2 the count. And what is shocking, they have scored 16 runs in their last 7 games. Terrio fouls it away, and the count stays 3-2. What the Dodgers have done is not only lose ground in the race, but they have wasted some great pitching. For instance, the last 17 starters have a combined earned run average of 2. The last 11 Dodgers starters have a combined earned run average of 1.8, and yet they've lost twice as many as they've won. 3-2 pitch, a one-hopper to the right side to Hairston. Gary throws him out. So Terrio, who goes that way a lot, grounds out the other way, and the batter will be Andre Ethier. For the Dodgers, when you look at that record of 14-20 against left-handers, you have to believe that they are tying up whoever bats left-handed for the Dodgers. And to give you an idea, Andre Ethier, who is certainly a big run producer, hitting .292, 16 home runs, 59 runs batted in, but he's hitting .225 against left-handers. He takes high, ball 1, 1-0. Not a big breaking slider. Slider it was. 1-0 the count to Andre Ethier. He is 2 for 9 in the series, and the 1-0 pitch is swung on and fouled back, 1-1. In looking at the Dodger lineup, Ausmus against left-hand pitching. Ausmus is hitting .200. Belliard is hitting .164. Ethier hitting .225. Posednik was hitting .296. 1 ball and 1 strike. LeBlanc ready, comes with a breaking ball hit over first, down the line. That should be for extra bases. Ludwig going over to get it, and into second base standing is Andre Ethier. He got that 74-mile-an-hour curveball, and he was able to turn on it quickly and pull it into the right field corner. So Ethier a double to right, and Matt Kemp will be coming up for Andre Ethier, his 23rd double. And now Matt Kemp coming up, hitting .267, 18 home runs, 60 runs batted in. Ethier is 4 for 10 against LeBlanc, so he's hitting .400 against that particular left-hander. Now here's Matt, and he takes off the plate, change up, and it looked like the left-hander almost tried to turn it over like a screwball. 1 ball and no strikes, the count. Kemp is 1 for 8 against LeBlanc. That would be a 125 batting average. He swings at another one, a fly ball to straightaway center, so he got back-to-back changeups and flies to center. The Dodgers leave Ethier, and at the end of an inning, no score. Alba, and Ludwig takes off the plate. Ball 1, 1-0. Ryan Ludwig did something that the Padres don't do very often this year. He grounded into the double play to end the game last night. He takes a strike, and the count 1-1. Ludwig putting up big numbers, especially with runners in scoring position. So for him to hit into the double play was somewhat shocking, and a tribute to Jonathan Broxton to get him. The 1-1 pitch to Ryan. He lays off a pitch just off the plate, another fastball, and the count 2-1. We told you the Rockies beat the Giants 6-1 today. Carlos Gonzalez hit 2 home runs. Troy Tulowitzki hit 1, and Ubaldo Jimenez was brilliant again. The pitch to Ludwig is high, ball 3. Jimenez went 7 innings, struck out 9, allowed 4 hits in 7 innings, and walked off. He's 17-2. 3-1 pitch, check swing for a strike. So a full count to Ryan Ludwig. And looking at the various Padre hitters, Ludwig is hitting .443 with runners in scoring position. He is just 2 for 9, however, in this series, and he takes ball 4. So Ludwig draws the walk, and the batter will be Chase Headley. For Ludwig, standing over there at first base, he is not a base stealing threat. He does not do much running. If he's going, it would be part of a hit and run play. Here is Chase Headley. He is 2 different hitters. He is a very good hitter left-handed, and not much of a hitter batting right-handed. Padilla set at the belt, looks over at Ludwig, comes to the plate. Headley fouls it back. Headley appeared as a pinch hitter last night, batting right-handed against Hung-Chi Kuo, and Kuo just blew him away. However, as a left-hand batter, it's another story. He's hitting an overall .278, but .317 as a left-hand hitter, and he has a 7-game hitting streak on the line. Padilla ready, looking at Ludwig. Back he comes, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. How has Headley fared against Padilla? Headley 1 for 2. No score, top of the 2nd inning. Wade LeBlanc and Vicente Padilla. Tomorrow night, the concluding game of the 4-game series, Kevin Correa and Chad Billingsley. Now the 1-1 pitch coming up. Padilla, as always, so deliberate, delivers and it's fouled away. 1-2. Of all the Dodger pitchers, it's pretty easy to say that Vicente Padilla is the most deliberate. Definition of deliberate, takes more time than anybody else with people on base. Part of it being a veteran pitcher. He knows how important it is to tie up the runners. At 32, he's won over 100 games in his career, 102 to be exact. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up. Padilla set, ready, and fires, and it's fouled away. Big day in Yankee Stadium today. A-Rod finally did it, in case you missed it. A-Rod hit home run number 600. So that gets him into a group of 7 with Bonds and Aaron, Ruth and Mays, Griffey and Sosa, and now A-Rod. A-Rod, by the way, the youngest to hit 600. 1-2 the count. Padilla again ready. You look over at Ludwig. No score, 2nd inning. And Vicente delivers. Headley takes high. And we have a 2-ball, 2-strike count. One of the interesting things, if you really want to study it just closely enough, is to compare games played and at-bats to get to 600. And they all had far more games and way more at-bats than Babe Ruth. Padilla plants the right foot on the rubber, looks in to get a sign. 1 hit so far. That was a 2-out double by Ethier. Now the 2-2 pitch to Chase Headley. Padilla ready and delivers, and it's dribbled foul off to the right. To give you an idea, the difference between Babe Ruth and, let's say, Henry Aaron. You know, Henry Aaron played in 550 more games than Babe Ruth to hit 600. 550. Most of the players in that select group had 3,000 more at-bats than Babe Ruth. 2-2 the count to Chase Headley. Padilla again ready. Vicente taking a long time and deals, and another foul ball. For the Padres, they have a lot of things working for them. They're number 1 in the league in pinch hits. When Bud Black sends somebody up there, well, he's gotten 40 hits from the bench so far this year. They run. They have 91 stolen base. They're second to the Mets. They've won 5 of the last 8 here at Dodger Stadium, and they are dynamite with runners in scoring position, tops in the National League. Here's the 2-2 pitch coming up to Chase Headley, batting left-handed. Padilla ready and comes to the plate. It's foul the other way, off third upstairs, and it's still 2-2 to Chase Headley. So far, it's been an 8-pitch at bat, and Headley just chipping him foul. And talking about chipping, examining his bat to make sure he hasn't chipped it. Meeting at the mound, Ausmus going out to talk to Padilla. And Vicente, after going to the back of the mound, gets up on top. And Headley waits. Headley's had a good series. He is 4 for 5 in this series against the Dodgers. The one time they got him was as a pinch hitter. Now the 2-2 pitch coming up. Padilla ready, works the plate, and it is hit to right field. Ethier backs up a little bit, but still on the grass, and makes the catch. And Ludwig returns to first. Fly ball to right field, 1 down. Now here's a fella who has really been on a tear, and that would be the San Diego catcher, Yorvit Torrealba, formerly of the Rockies. And what a move he made to go from Colorado to the top dog team in the league, in the division. Torrealba has really come alive. He's not only hitting .332, he has a 15-game hitting streak, 3 for 5 in the series. During that 15-game hitting streak, he's hitting .473. Padilla ready, comes to the hitter, slides it in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. Torrealba in the last 3 games, he didn't play last night. Last 3 games, 8 for 12. And you put somebody in scoring position, he's hitting a cool .458. So he's a team photo right now. Yorvit Torrealba, the catcher from Venezuela, punches one on the ground to the right side. A smothering stop by Theriot to take a hit away from him. Ryan Theriot goes on the grass to make a sliding stop and take a base hit away from Torrealba. Otherwise, Yorvit hits in 16. Wonderful play by Theriot. Down to second base on the play goes Ludwig. But 2 out, and Will Venable, the left-hand hitter, coming up. Hi-ho the Merry-O, the Dodgers have Theriot, and they're going to walk Venable intentionally to bring up Denorfia. So in a moment, runners at first and second, 2 out. Denorfia, a very fine center fielder. We've seen him go get him. We also saw him make a great throw last night, that one hopper to the plate that eventually led to the out on Martin and then the injury, and now Martin is out. So Denorfia in a moment, coming up first and second, 2 out, second inning, no score. Denorfia came up from the minor leagues and had a wonderful power month of July. All 6 of his home runs were hit in July. So far, the Dodgers have shut him down in this series. He's just 1 for 8, 0 for 3 last night. And he's one of those fellows who does better in one place or the other, either home and road. And he's doing much better at Petco at home, where he's hitting .302. So he's from Bristol, Connecticut. Chris Denorfia with 2 down, second inning, 2 on, no score. And Padilla saved already by Theriot, trying to get out of the jam. And the pitch had changed quite that soap bubble, and it was blown off. That one was 54 miles an hour. Padilla in the soap bubble. It's the first time he threw it tonight. He'll throw it a few more times, I'm sure. 1 ball and no strikes. Ludwig at second, Venable at first with 2 out. Padilla set. Right-hander comes back, fastball in for a strike, 1-1. Only once this year can I remember Padilla throwing back-to-back soap bubbles. He threw them to Ike Davis, the left-hand hitting first baseman of the Mets. The first one Davis swung and missed. The second one he hit it in the pavilion in deep left center. 1-1 the count. Denorfia, right-hand hitter. Padilla, as always, deliberate. Another fastball, snaps it off, and counts his way now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the man from Nicaragua heaves a little sigh, gets back up on top. Padilla says no to Ausmus. Now he's ready. And the 1-2 pitch to Chris Denorfia. Padilla looks back at second, works the plate with a fastball, got him looking. Strikeout number 2 for Vicente, saved by second baseman Ryan Theriot, no score. Padilla made 25 pitches, but he had to work awfully hard to finally get Chase Headley. And then he was saved on the fine play by Ryan Theriot. So in the bottom of the second inning, the Dodgers will have Casey Blake, Ronnie Belliard, and Jamie Carroll. Into the windup goes LeBlanc. Big curveball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Casey Blake hitting .246, 11 home runs, 41 runs batted in. LeBlanc back with a fastball, but he's low. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count. Casey Blake going up against Wade LeBlanc. Wade ready, comes back, and the pitch hit in the air to right center field on the dead run. Murphy can't get it. He picks it up on a bounce, and into second base goes Casey Blake with a long double. Wade LeBlanc trying to change up on him, and Blake just hammered it. Casey, by the way, was 3 for 9 against LeBlanc anyway. So the Dodgers had a 2-out double by Ethier in the first inning. Now they get a leadoff double by Casey Blake in the second inning. And the batter will be Ronnie Belliard. Belliard in and out of the lineup and playing first base tonight, as we told you, hitting only .164 against left-hand pitching. Overall batting average .217, and he takes down and away a changeup. And that certainly acted almost like a screwball the way it went down and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Ronnie Belliard. He has 2 home runs, 15 runs batted in. LeBlanc checking Blake. Back with a pitch, line to left field, coming up, and one-handing it is Venable. Gets it back to the infield a little late. So Belliard, a line drive out to left field. Nice play by Will Venable, especially at this hour. I mean, we still have somewhat of a sunset sky. The mountains, you can start to see the nooks and crannies out there. So it's pretty clear. And the lights have not taken complete effect. So Venable, a good play to get a jump on that line drive. And now here's Jamie Carroll hitting .276. Carroll is hitting .286 against left-hand pitching. Jamie playing shortstop, and the fastball is low, ball 1, 1-0. Jamie Carroll has just been a brilliant acquisition when you realize how much he has contributed to this ball club. Second base, shortstop, left field, and hitting .276. Jamie waiting. LeBlanc looks back at Casey Blake. Now the left-hander works the plate, and that looked like a high change whacked into center. Here comes Blake. DeNorfia overruns the ball, and into second base goes Jamie Carroll, and the Dodgers lead 1-0. Wade LeBlanc, who threw a changeup to Casey Blake, tried to change off his curveball, and it really didn't bend very much, so it looked just like a straight change. That was slapped into center. DeNorfia will probably be charged with an error, so it'll be a single to center to score Blake, and DeNorfia drawing the error to account for Carroll's presence at second base. So the Dodgers leading 1-0 with 1 out, and Brad Osmus coming up with Vicente Padilla on deck. So Wade LeBlanc, who has been struggling, last time out he lost 4-2. He is 1-3 lifetime against the Dodgers. The left-hander set at the bell, works Osmus and gets it in there for a strike, 0-1. One thing about LeBlanc, when we saw him in the middle of May, he was magnificent. He allowed 1 earned run and 2 hits and lost. Dodgers won that game 2-1. Here's the strike 1 pitch coming up, and it's in there. So 0-2 the count. 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Brad Osmus, the 41-year-old wonder man, when you realize at that tender age he had major back surgery, and the first game back he caught 12 innings, and he is hit by the pitch. So the struggles of LeBlanc continues. So the Dodgers now have 2 on with 1 out, and Vicente Padilla coming up. So we'll see if Padilla gets a bunt down. He has 5 sacrifices. You have Jamie Carroll at second, Brad Ausmus at first, a run in the bank, and the Dodgers lead 1-0. The Padres are looking bunt. Adrian Gonzalez is in on the grass. Chase Headley is on the grass, but he has to be ready to back up and handle a play at third. LeBlanc ready. Padilla shows bunt and just does get out of the way. He was almost hit by the pitch. Ball 1. For Wade LeBlanc, in checking his numbers, 41 walks, 75 strikeouts, so he's fighting it. As far as hit batter is concerned, he has only hit 2 when he hit Ausmus tonight. That made it 2. Dodgers have Padilla bunting up along third. Good bunt. Headley has to come in to get it. And the runners move up to second and third. So Jamie Carroll is at third. Brad Ausmus at second. Padilla does a good job. And that would be his 6th sacrifice. And they open the door now for Scott Posednik with first base open. Left-hander against left-hander. So Padilla does his job, moves his men along, gets 5s in the dugout. It's 1-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 2nd inning. Carroll short lead at third. Ausmus away from second. Posednik takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Posednik, great speed. That's his number 1 ability. Came over having hit safely in 35 of the last 42. And he takes a pitch high. 1-1 the count to Scott Posednik. That name is of Czech origin. Ausmus and Carroll out there as Posednik takes high. 2-1 the count to Scott. Posednik holding his own against left-hand pitching. He's hitting .296 against left-handers. Now the 2-1 pitch. LeBlanc delivers low. Ball 3. So now he's 1 pitch away from loading him up. And Ryan Theriot waiting his turn on deck. 3-1 the count to Scott Posednik. Here comes LeBlanc. Fastball is in there. 3-2. Dodgers in the inning. Blake doubled with 1 out. Came home on a single by Carroll. There was an error by Posednik to allow Carroll to get to second. Ausmus hit by a pitch. Padilla bunts for a sacrifice. And Posednik hits a high foul off to the left of the plate. No play for catcher Yorba Torrealba. So 3-2 the count to Scott Posednik. LeBlanc with a record of 5-9. Started off pretty well. He was 4-4, and in the last 7 times out, he's really hit a patch of tough going, and he's 1-5. Left-hander ready now. Big pitch, and it's swung on and foul back. Fastball. Still 3-2. Dodgers leading 1-0 in the 2nd inning. Remember, they've only scored 16 runs in the last 7 games. 3-2 pitch is swung on, hit in the air into shallow left center. Gonna be trouble. It'll drop. 2 runs will score on a pop fly, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. A modest thing and thine own for Scott Posednik, and he will take it gladly. He went down after what would have been ball 4, and he hit a fly ball in a triangle. It landed between Denorfia and Venable, and there wasn't a thing they could do about it. So Posednik, a pop fly single, and the Dodgers have jumped out to a 3-0 lead. And the batter is Ryan Theriot. And of course, with Posednik at first base, you have quite a battle here. This is a very interesting time. you have an excellent base stealer and a guy who was picked off 7. So let's see what happens. LeBlanc looks over at Posednik and goes over there, but that was just a commercial move. That's not the one where he's actually trying to get him. Posednik one year stole 70 bases, and as we told you, LeBlanc has picked off 7. Waiting at the plate is Terrio, another throw to first. So certainly Wade LeBlanc was unlucky on that pop fly single. Dodgers could use a little luck. What was that old expression? I'd rather be lucky than good. 3-0 Dodgers in the second inning. LeBlanc again goes over. So he's thrown to first base 3 times, and he has not made a pitch to the plate. But the throws to first base are certainly not his pickoff move at all. He's just playing catch with Adrian Gonzalez. LeBlanc again ready. Another look. And there goes Posednik. The pitch is high. Throw behind his throw is not in time. So Scott Posednik, after 3 throws, steals second base. It wasn't a bad throw. It was reasonably accurate. But Posednik had a good jump. He read his pitcher and just did hook the bag with his left foot. Now the pitch is instead a twist, a turn, and a look. In looking at Scott Posednik, his left hand looks like he has an injury. The pitch is fouled away. In other words, he has his batting gloves on, but the left hand has what looks like almost a mitten over that hand. All right, Posednik at second with 2 out. The 1-1 pitch to Ryan Terrio, and LeBlanc delivers a little high on a check swing. No swing, says Brian Gorman. In watching Posednik, that's the hand he uses to grab the bag, but because it's a mitten, there are no fingers to grab the bag, so he goes right over the bag and then hooks it with his left foot. Terrio, a hard ground ball to third. Headley is up with it, throws to first, and that's that. But the Dodgers get 3 on a double, 2 singles, a hit batter, and a sacrifice, plus a stolen base, and lead 3-0. Dodgers leading the Padres 3-0. Wade LeBlanc followed by Jerry Hairston and Miguel Tejada. And LeBlanc, by the way, is a pretty good hitting pitcher. LeBlanc has 11 hits, is struck out a little less than a third of the time. Left-hand hitter takes a strike. 1-1 the count to Wade LeBlanc, the pride of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Padilla very deliberate. 1-1 the count. And the next one hit late and foul off to the left. Last year, Wade LeBlanc finished up on a very high note, and the Padres are hoping he'll do the same this year. In his last 6 starts of the year, his earned run average was 2. Now the 1-2 pitch inside, 2-2 the count. Of course, he struggled all year and had a record of 4-9. So Padilla trying to get him, and Vicente a big contribution with his sacrifice that moved the runners along in the second inning. 2-2 pitch, off speed, hit late and foul outside of third. So it's still 2-2 to Wade LeBlanc. Wade LeBlanc was Baseball America's Freshman of the Year when he was at the University of Alabama. He was a first-team All-American down there. Pitched a no-hitter for the Padres, pitching for the Lake Elsinore Storm. Retired the first 22 batters, and then had to give the ball up to John Link. Ground ball to shortstop. Jamie Carroll goes back to get it, throws to Belliard in time, and we have one away. Say, friends, be sure to join the Dodgers Friday. They welcome the Nationals on 80s night. The first 20,000 fans will take home a limited edition 80s themed poster featuring Matt Kemp. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. By the way, while the Dodgers are spending the weekend rolling around here against the Washington Nationals, and the Nationals have beaten the Dodgers 2 out of 3 in Washington, San Diego will be over in Arizona. They have beaten Arizona 7 out of 9. The pitch now to the leadoff man Hairston is low, ball 1. They have beaten Arizona 7 out of 9, but they beat him 6 straight at Petco. They are 1-2 in Phoenix. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way, and Hairston lays off. It's low. 2-0 the count to Jerry. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Dodgers, nothing across for the Padres, who, remember, were completely blank last night after the first inning. So they've had 10 scoreless innings now, and the 2-0 pitch in for a strike, and the count 2-1. Jerry Hairston leading off in the absence of David Eckstein. This will be the 34th game he's led off. Eckstein with a strain of the calf, so he's been on the DL. 2-1 pitch. Hairston takes low. Ball 3. Hairston is like a Jamie Carroll, same kind of a player. Jerry has played shortstop, second base, right field, left field, and third base. So he's actually moved around even a little more than Jamie. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Hairston, and it's on the inside corner. 3-2. Hairston and Tejada. 3-0 Dodgers. Top of the third, 1 away. Jerry waiting, and the 3-2 pitch coming up. It's swung on, lifted to straightaway and shallow center. Terrio looking for a little help, and Matt Kemp comes in. Ryan went out and then seemed to gesture almost as if, I'm not quite sure where the ball is, but Matt Kemp was coming hard anyway to make the catch. So you can see Terrio, arms extended. Where is that little rascal? It's somewhere up there. And Matt says, I know. So we have 2 down in the third inning. Nice to have a little help from your friends. Miguel Tejada struck out in the first inning. Right-hand hitter 0 for 1. Tejada takes down and away. Tejada, of all the players, really has a staggering story. I mean, he grew up with nothing and even lost that, if it's possible, in Hurricane David. And to think, from absolutely nothing One year he made $14 million playing baseball over here. He's from the Dominican. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Big swing and a miss. He staggers back out of the box. 1-1 the count. Tejada, a lot of power in a small package. He's not a big man at all. He stands about 5'9", but he does weigh 215. Fouls it back on the next one, and the count 1-2. Yeah, he tells stories of when he was a toddler, 2 and 3 years old. His mom would take him down to the river, and she'd be bathing him, and right alongside other mothers were washing clothes. And I mean, that's what they had. They had nothing. 1-2 the count to Miguel Tejada. Changeup, ripped foul outside of third. That was really changing off any kind of a breaking ball, and Tejada was all over it. The ball that he hit for a home run, he hit into the Dodger bullpen last night against Ted Lilly. After Hurricane David, you talk about having nothing and yet you lose everything. And that's exactly what happened to the Tejada family. The next one is pulled foul. So there was a time where young Miguel Tejada had no food, no water, no lights for 6 months. He shined shoes. He begged in the streets. I mean, it's incredible. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way, and Tejada hits it foul the other way, off to the right, well back into the crowd. There are those who would disagree with his birthday. He is 36 years old in May, but there are some who say he's older than that. He was signed in 1993 by the A's. 1-2 to Miguel Tejada. The next one is swung on and missed as Padilla throws that straight changeup and strikes him out. And at the end of 2.5 innings, 3-0 Dodgers. Third inning, it's 3-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Andre Ethier, Matt Kemp, and Casey Blake against Wade LeBlanc. Vicente Padilla has made 53 pitches in his first 3 innings, which would be too many. And the fastball on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Andre got a curveball in the first inning and pulled it over first down the line for a double. Struggling on the last couple of months to see his average really take a beating. Takes a pitch away. 1-1 the count. Andre, now the proud father of 2 young sons. The 1-1 pitch, and that's off the plate. Always good to have 2 young sons, all you have to do is give them any kind of a ball. Say, go out and have a catch. Right away, it beats all the expensive toys on the market. 2-1 to Andre Ethier. And Wade LeBlanc's next one swung on and missed. A changeup. And boy, Andre was really out in front of that. 2-2 the count. LeBlanc turns, ready, and comes back. Fastball hit down the left field line. Slicing foul. A try, but no cigar for Will Venable. Still 2-2 the count. Venable, whose dad Max played for many years in the major leagues, giving it an all-out rush. So 2-2 the count to Andre Ethier. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, no hits for the Padres. And the 2-2 pitch, fastball fouled away. The Padres might have had a hit, except for Ryan Theriot, who went out onto the grass, made a sliding stop of what looked like a base hit for Yorvit Torrealba, and took it away from him. 2-2. LeBlanc ready, and the 2-2 pitch is low. Ball 3. We told you LeBlanc fighting it a bit when you look at his numbers. 41 walks, 75 strikeouts. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Change up, swung on and missed. Boy, he's got a dandy at muttering to himself. I can tell you the last 2 words, pitch. Can't tell you the first word. But Andre was really fooled by the changeup. Takes that big stride, and he's way out in front of it. So Ethier strikes out. 1 away in the 3rd, and LeBlanc working on Matt Kemp. Kemp got 2 changeups in a row in the 1st inning and flied to center. This time he starts him with a fastball and gets a strike. 0-1. The strike 1 pitch, breaking ball down and in. The slider for a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Wade LeBlanc, 5 wins, 9 losses. Among other things, they've turned 9 double plays back of him. They've turned 15 double plays against fellow left-hander Clayton Richard. He has given up 16 home runs this year, 14 of the 16 to right-hand batters, and 9 of the home runs have been given up on the road, pitching in the safety of Petco Park. Ground ball to third, backing up for the hop is Headley, then guns it to first in time, and we have 2 out here in the 3rd inning. Are you traveling this season? You can take the Dodgers with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today and see every Dodger game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Dodgers.com to order and get more details. Local and market blackouts apply. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Casey Blake got a change up in the 2nd inning and doubled to right center field. Belliard then lined out to left, and Jamie Carroll singled for a run. D'Onofrio, hoping to make a play on Casey Blake, overran the ball, came up empty for an error. Then Ausmus hit by a pitch, and Posednik a little pop fly single, and the Dodgers enjoyed a huge 3-run inning. 3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. Back comes LeBlanc, fastball grounded into left field. So I guess if you've been around as long as Casey Blake, you walk up and you say, okay, he threw me a changeup and I doubled. I'm going to be looking fastball, and he finally got it and singles to left with 2 out. So Blake is 2 for 2. The Dodgers now 3 runs, 5 hits, and Ronnie Belliard the batter. Belliard lined out to left field in the 2nd inning. Blake short lead at first. LeBlanc to the plate. Fastball low. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. 2 out in the 3rd. Dodgers with that 3-run inning. 1 ball and no strikes. LeBlanc back with a pitch that's lifted to left center field and deep. Tenorti on the dead run at the wall. It's off the wall, bouncing over his head. Blake will score on a double by Belliard. 4-0 Dodgers. Well, there was nothing fluky about that. That was not a pop fly into shallow left center. Ronnie Belliard short hopped the wall in deepest left center and really jumped all over it. So Blake scores without a play, and the Dodgers lead 4-0. Belliard, when he hits it, thinks maybe it's going to be caught. Watch him slam the bat down, and then as he looks up again, the ball is carried. It's not an out. You're going to have an extra base hit and a run batted in, so giddy up. And he does. So Jamie Carroll, who singled to drive in Blake in the second inning, is up there now with a chance to pick up Belliard and takes a strike. 0-1. 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. No runs, no hits for the Padres. We're in the bottom of the third. LeBlanc at the belt, and the left-hander deals, and it's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jamie playing all over the place and playing so well whenever asked to play. Hitting .279. The 1-1 pitch swung on and fouled away, bouncing into the Dodger dugout. 1-2 the count. Carroll picked up his 14th RBI to match his number on his uniform when he singled Blake home in the second inning. That number 14 in Brooklyn meant RBIs. It was worn by Gil Hodges. The 1-2 pitch on the way. A little nubber halfway to the mound. LeBlanc picks it up, fires to first in time for the out. Dodgers get a run on 2 hits, and at the end of 3 lead 4-0. Chicken sandwich combo served with curly fries and a drink for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. And by your Southern California Ford dealers, where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at scforddealers.com. 4-0 in favor of the Dodgers as we go to the 4th inning. Casey Blake has a double and a single. He has scored twice as the Dodgers put together a half a dozen hits to pound Wade LeBlanc, although you really can't call it a pounding in the second inning. But the Dodgers will take it on the pop fly that fell in favor of Scott Podsednik, and 2 big runs scored. Gonzalez, Ludwig, and Headley trying to get the Padres on the board. Adrian popped up in the first inning. 0 for 1. Dodgers again, 3 men on the right side in that triangle defense. Gonzalez 0 for 1, so he is just 1 for 8 in the series. And there's the soap bubble, but he missed. He's pretty accurate with that pitch, but not the 2 that he's thrown so far tonight. 1 ball and no strikes. And back with a fastball, shelled foul, and that got a little bit of Brian Gorman, the first base umpire. Brian is a chip off the old block. His father umpired for many years in the major leagues. His father, Tom, was a very well respected umpire. And Brian has certainly reached the same category as his father. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brian's in his 19th year umpiring in the big leagues. His dad umpired for about 25 years. 1-2 the count. And that's a line drive, 1 hopper to right field, and he's going to get thrown out again. I mean, the Dodgers have set a trap to shut down Adrian Gonzalez. That's a sure base hit, except with the triangle defense. A 1 hopper into right field, and you're out at first base. In game 1 of the series, Gonzalez hit 4 balls to the right side that might have been base hits, but not against the triangle defense. He is very proficient in going the other way, but the Dodgers have shut him down, letting him pull to his heart's content. So 1 away, and here's Ryan Ludwig. So Gonzalez is 1 for 9 in the series, and Ludwig is 2 for 9. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan, the newcomer to San Diego, coming over from St. Louis. Foul back. Ryan Ludwig just turned 32. Born in Florida, lives in Nevada. Went to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Had a huge year in 37. Down he goes. He had 37 home runs and 113 RBIs 2 years ago. But he comes up empty, and we have 2 out in the 4th. Here's our trivia question for you. Brad Osmus has caught over 1,700 games as a catcher. Who are the only 3 catchers ever with 2,000 or more starts? There's the soap bubble for a strike. And that was 53 miles an hour. So they don't use the speed gun, they use the hourglass. And a lot of sand went through. 0-1. There's another one. 0-2. It never looks more like a kid's game than when you see that pitch and you see a hitter try to time it. Now remember, we haven't seen him throw back-to-back soap bubbles. Nope, fastball. So 1, 2, 3. That's 4 blank innings tonight, 8 last night, 12 scoreless innings now, and the Dodgers lead 4-0. 4-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Bottom of the 4th inning. Brad Osmus, Vicente Padilla, and Scott Posednik in that order. You know, a pitcher and a catcher are a lot like a good dance team. So if Padilla is pitching a gem, and he is, Osmus has to get certainly some of the credit. When Ted Lilly pitched so well last night, Russell Martin, the same story. Nice play by Ryan Ludwig. Little fly ball to right field, 1 down. Ryan, eyes riveted right to the glove. So Ludwig takes a base hit away from Osmus. We have 1 away. And Vicente Padilla, who got that big bunt down in the 2nd inning, and that helped for 2 runs. Right. One ball and 1 strike. Wade LeBlanc gave up 3 in the 2nd, 1 more in the 3rd. 1-2, and that was that change. 1-2. And follows with a fastball. A little rare, as we often say, to change up on a pitcher. Used to be a battle cry, never change up on a pitcher unless he's a very good hitter. Well, Padilla is 2 for 17. Now he's 2 for 18. Remember the trivia question? We were talking about Brad Osmus crouching behind the plate. Who are the only 3 catchers ever with over 2,000 starts behind the plate? Pudge Rodriguez, Carlton Fisk, and Bob Boone. Boy, is that ever a lot of crouching, huh? Over 2,000. Osmus at 41 in tremendous shape in order to be able to play that position and have some spring in his legs. Although he has announced this will be his last year. Ball 1. 2 out, 4th inning, 4-0 Dodgers. Trying to make it 7 of 11 against the division leading Padres. Dodgers have not lost a season series to San Diego since 2007. Beat them in 08, beat them on 09, and trying to do the same this year. Ball 3. When the Dodgers lost the season series to San Diego in 07, they won 8 and lost 10. 3-0. That's right. We know a lot of people in and out the game, and you might have missed some of the news. Russell Martin hurt more seriously than we thought last night. We thought he hurt his knee. Turned out he hurt his hip, tore the labrum in the hip. So he's going to be on the DL and out for at least 2 weeks. Posednik, a high fly ball to dead center. Back goes to Nortia and makes the catch. So the Dodgers go in order, and at the end of 4-0 Dodgers. As we go to the fifth inning, Vicente Padilla has struck out 5 in 4 innings, and he started out against the veteran Miguel Tejada, and he got him looking at a fastball. Then Denorfia caught looking at a fastball. Then Tejada the second time around missed a fastball. Then it was Ryan Ludwig missing a fastball, and finally Chase Headley going after a fastball up. So Padilla might be having fun with that soap bubble, but he's hitting as high as 94 and has 5 strikeouts. He's allowed 2 walks, 1 intentionally granted, and no hits. Torrealba, robbed of a hit, is going to hit one right at Andre Ethier. That was up in the lights, and Andre just did stay with it. 1 away. So Torrealba lost a hit on a wonderful play by Ryan Theriot. Now he hits one right on the button, right at right field. And his 15-game hitting streak is somewhat in jeopardy. And the batter, Will Venable, who was walked intentionally in the second inning. There's the soap bubble for a strike. Oh, beauty. You have fun with that, with soap bubbles with little kids? He's having fun with it against the big kids. And then he follows with a fastball, which probably looks twice as fast as the soap bubble. I mean, he's throwing soap bubbles 53 and then fastballs 95. 0-2. Fastball, got him. 6 strikeouts for Vicente Padilla. Fastball right down the pipe. So Denorfia coming up. Denorfia struck out in the second inning. Four runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers, nothing across for the Padres. Top of the fifth. And a strike starts him fastball. Hard slider down and away. 0-2. Tell you one thing that normally happens, not now, it's only August. Late in September, when you're in a tough pennant race, it seems like runs are so hard to come by for any and all teams involved. For Bud Black and a young Padre team, they will find out. It just gets tougher, not easier. Fastball down the line, foul, back into the stands. 0-2 the count. Bud Black, who has done a wonderful job with a ball club that, let's face it, in spring training most people wrote off. They said, well, they'll last. Boy, did the experts miss. Last my foot. They have played exceptionally well. 0-2. Fastball. 1-2. Denorfia 0 for 1 tonight and 1 for 9 in the series. Little breaking ball on the corner. The curveball at 77. Denorfia thought it was inside, but he's done. So the mystery for Bud Black continues. It's 4-0 Dodgers. And Ryan Theriot takes a strike, 0-1. Theriot grounded to second, grounded to third. Ryan 0 for 2, hitting .276. 1 ball and 1 strike. Goes down to get that. That's another one of those very good changeups for Wade LeBlanc. 1-2 the count. Tried to get the fastball on the inside corner, but he missed with it. 2-2. And did he? Yes, he did. He chased that change, and down he goes. The Dodgers scoring in the second and in the third to take the lead of 4-0. It started with a base hit to center, the error by Denorfia that scored Casey Blake. Then a pop fly fell in, and the Dodgers picked up 2 more. And in the third inning, Blake singled, Belliard doubled, short hopping the wall in left center. In fact, you know, every time I look at that tape, I was just looking at Denorfia. That ball hit high up on the wall, Belliard's double. And maybe the reason he threw the bat down, his first thought was home run. Ethier's first thought is home run, and this one is off the wall. And Andre for 2, and he is in there. So Andre Ethier 2 doubles tonight as he lines one off the wall in right field. You can see Ludwig gone back and play it off the carom shot. So Andre with 2 doubles tonight, that gives him 24 for the year. And with 1 out, Kemp and Blake trying to pick him up. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. And of these 7 hits, they have 4 doubles. Ethier has 2, Blake has 1, Belliard has 1. And they're going to walk Kemp, hoping to get Blake to perhaps get into a double play. For LeBlanc, he did hit a batter, but this will be the first walk, albeit intentionally granted. Also, LeBlanc is due to lead off in the 6th inning. So he's in a shaky area anyway. 3-0 the count. And here's ball 4. All right, Kemp to first, Ethier at second with 1 out, and Casey Blake coming up. Casey Blake doubled to lead off the 2nd inning and scored, singled, and scored when Belliard chased him home. So Casey 2 for 2, scored twice, and hitting .250. 2 on, 1 out. Fastball popped up, and I mean, as they call it, a big league pop-up. And it will be the infield fly rule, and it's caught by Jerry Hairston. So 2 out, 2 on, and Ronnie Belliard coming up. Maybe we could show Belliard again. Remember, we thought he made an out. I think in retrospect, he realized he didn't hit a home run and that the ball was going to hit the wall. So if we can find the tape, maybe we can have another look at it. Ronnie, meanwhile, is hitting, lined out to left and doubled in left center field to drive in a big run. In for a strike. Here's the at bat, and watch Denorfia and watch the ball. He's going to rip it. Now the swing. He slams the bat down, and he thought it was an out, but it wasn't. Almost hit him. Now take a look at that ball that he hit. See, it landed way up on top of the wall. So we misinterpreted him throwing the bat down. He threw the bat down because he realized that's not going to be a home run. It was close, about a foot. Ball 2, 2-1. Ronnie has 2 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Two and 1. And a strike. So LeBlanc very much on thin ice. The club isn't doing anything again. We're talking about the Padres. And he's due to bat first in the 6th inning. Right-hander Edward Mojica begins to throw, and a changeup is chased and missed. Down goes Belliard. Down go the Dodgers, leaving 2. And at the end of 5, they're leading 4-0. Captain, that was Pee Wee Reese. He wore number 1, and they'd call him first in war, first in peace, and first in the hearts of Brooklyn. Well, one day in 1942, 9th inning in the Polo Grounds in New York, the game was tied 1-1, and he hit a grand slam home run, except we were at war. There was a curfew, and it reverted to the previous inning, 1-1 time. Let's hurry back to this one. And we just get back in time for a strike. Padilla, 5 scoreless innings. And there's the balloon, the soap bubble, lined out to Carroll. Kind of rare that he would throw that thing to a pitcher of all people, but he did.
Second baseman.
And the batter will be Jerry Hairston. Hairston is grounded to short, fly to center. 11 in a row now, retired by Padilla, taking a page out of Ted Lilly's book. Remember last night, Lilly retired 20 in a row. And a fly ball to center. Kemp is at the other end of it. Two down in the 6th inning, and Miguel Tejada coming up. Tejada has struck out twice in the 1st inning and again in the 3rd. Padilla has 7 strikeouts. His home run came in the 1st inning last night, and they've not scored since. Fastball for a strike. No balls, one strike. A broken bat ground ball to Belliard, and quickly that's the inning. That's 13 in a row retired by Padilla, and now we start to take his efforts seriously. Come to getting a base hit tonight. This close. Ryan Theriot making a great stop to take a base hit away from Yorvit Torrealba back in the second inning. That close. So Jamie Carroll, Brad Ausmus, Vicente Padilla coming up, and that's a strike. 0-1. Sitting all by himself, and what he usually does, drench himself with water in between trips to the mound. The man from Nicaragua. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jamie Carroll single to center, drive in a run, scored a run. He looks that thing right into the catcher's mitt. Ball 3. 3-1. Wade LeBlanc allowed to hit for himself in the 6th inning. Got a soap bubble and lined out to short, so he's still out there. 3-2 the count to Jamie Carroll. LeBlanc victimized for 2 runs on the pop fly, but he'd still be down 2-0. Still 3-2. Jamie hitting .278 and figures to be playing a while. Joe Torre said before the game it figures that Rafael will come back to play on the road. Another foul ball. So that means for Call resting tonight, he'll rest tomorrow, he'll rest the 3 games against Washington, and then he'll go back to work, if strong enough, against Philadelphia on the 10th in Philadelphia. 3-2. And got him. 1 minute. Looked like Jamie was starting to go to first base. Down he goes. So 1 away, and the batter will be Brad Ausmus. You know, this year, bring your kids to Dodger Stadium, and with the purchase of every adult ticket on the field or Lowe's level, kids 14 and under cost just $5. For details, visit Dodgers.com/specials. One out, sixth inning, 4-0 Dodgers. Slow curveball hit foul. Adrian Gonzalez for the second out. And the batter will be Padilla.
That's your pitcher, number 44, Vicente Padilla.
Padilla made a sizable contribution in the second inning when he got the bunt down to put runners at second and third, and then Posednik's pop fly fell in, and the Dodgers scored a big 2. Fastball lined into center field, base hit. So he was sitting on the fastball, as the players say, and he comes up with his third hit. He has one double. He has a run batted in. And what makes him a little dangerous, he strikes out less than 50%. So Padilla, a 2-out single, just to add to the misery of Wade LeBlanc. Scott Posednik looks at his strike, struck out in the first inning, then had the pop fly single for 2 runs, stole a base. Last time up, fly to center. 100 pitches made by LeBlanc. That's in there. And that's lined to right. Ludwig moving over and picks it off. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. At the end of 6, 4-0 Dodgers. Ticket is brought to you by Corona. Putting it very simply, the Hyundai key to the game, you're looking at him, Vicente Padilla. 6 scoreless innings, 6 hitless innings, 2 walks, 1 of them intentionally granted, 7 strikeouts, and a total of 78 pitches as he goes to the 7th inning. Vicente Padilla is 33 years old in September. From Chinandega, Nicaragua. You may remember, if you're old enough, that really was a hard-hit city during the Revolution. The soap bubble hit to shortstop, and welcome to the club, Adrian Gonzalez. 1 away. That was a 52-mile-an-hour soap bubble. And here's Ludwig, who walked and struck out. Vicente, the oldest of 7 children, he has 4 sisters and 2 brothers. The village in Chinandega, Nicaragua, was a bloody place, a killing field. He doesn't like to talk about it, and you can understand it. Very, very poor and very, very unhappy growing up during those bad times. His mother sold beans and rice to try to keep her family afloat. His father had died when he was 15 years old. He has won 102 games, and as a Nicaraguan, 102 victories. That's a big story. Of course, Dennis Martinez won 245. 0-2 to Ludwig. So 1 out in the 7th inning. Dodgers 4, Padres nothing. Padilla working on a no-hitter. So if you have a friend who might like to enjoy in the excitement, give him a call. Come on over and join the fun. 0-2 to Ryan Ludwig. Line drive off the glove, I think, of Loney and into right field. So Vicente Padilla gives up a line drive for a base hit. He'll get a standing ovation from the crowd. Like to see that in slow motion, because I think Loney, who just came into the game, got a piece of it, but not enough. So a standing ovation, a 1-hitter, and the batter now, Chase Headley. Soap bubble for ball 1. Look at Loney, see how close it comes. Line drive, James just ticked it, slowed it down, and of course he just came in the game anyway. You watch Padilla in his career. 8 years ago, pitching against Arizona, he had a 2-hitter. But he's been around a long time, winning 102 games and losing 88. Two 2-0. Fastball up the middle, base hit. So with 1 out in the 7th inning, and the Dodgers leading 4-0, and Vicente Padilla working on a no-hitter, he gives up back-to-back singles to Ludwig and Headley. And here comes a guy who's been frustrated, Yorvit Torrealba. Torrealba robbed of a definite base hit by Ryan Theriot in the 2nd inning. In the 5th inning, he hit one right on the screws, but he hit it right at Andre Ethier in right field. They are moving around in the Dodger bullpen, moving the furniture. In a moment, somebody will get up. And now Brad Osmus going out to talk, probably whistled to go out there. Yep, here comes Rick Honeycutt. Does 2 purposes. It kind of helps the mood settle down. Even as experienced as Padilla was, you come so close working on a no-hitter, there has to be a little psychological letdown. Then the next hitter gets a base hit, so they just decide, okay, let's change the mood here. And at the same time, Dotel gets up in the pen and begins to warm up. Okay, 1 out, back-to-back singles, and here's Torrealba. 2 home runs, 26 runs batted in. 0 for 2 tonight, and against Padilla, Torrealba 1 for 9. Dodgers would like to get Torrealba to hit the ball on the ground. Veteran catcher has grounded into 13 double plays. Strike. Padres have been dead in the water until this moment. Went 14 innings without a run. Slider away, 1-1. George Sherrill gets up down in the Dodger bullpen to join Dotel. Little ground ball to short. They will get one. They will get two. They got their wish. Torrealba has grounded into 14 double plays. Another scoreless inning for Vicente, getting another round of applause. And at the end of 6.5, 4-0 Dodgers.
Bless America. Once again, accompanied by Nancy B., please welcome Lowell Bassett.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Nothing Dodgers. Vicente Padilla, allowing 2 singles, has made a total of 88 pitches. He has been brilliant. And now the Dodgers on the offense with Ryan Theriot hitting .275, 1 ball and no strikes. Theriot grounded to second, grounded to third, and struck out. Ground ball off the backhanded effort by Chase Headley and down the line. So Theriot keeps on going into second base. For Headley, a play he'd like to have over. He'd like to get over. He could have gotten his body in front of it, and he gave it the old ole like a matador. If he squares up on the ball, it's a routine play. So we'll wait and see. It should be an error charge to put more pressure on Wade LeBlanc. So they've committed 2 errors tonight, have the Padres. Now Andre Ethier, 2 doubles and a strikeout. And ball 1. LeBlanc was allowed to bat in the 6th inning leading off. You can't believe he'd be allowed to bat in the 8th inning hitting 3rd. Down in the bullpen, Ryan Webb, big right-hander, warming up. Off the plate, 2-0 the count. Ethier hitting .295. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Padres. Hard ground ball. Hairston stays with it. On the play, Terrio advances to 3rd. So 1 out, and Matt Kemp coming up. And now Bud Black has had his hand forced. He will, I think, go to the bullpen now. Yep. LeBlanc facing Matt Kemp, down 4-0, and Bud figures it's time to hook him. So Wade LeBlanc, who is 1-5 in his last 7 starts, could wind up 1-6, and his record then would be 5 wins and 10 losses. So he has to be a little discouraged as he goes out, and we'll be back. .76 gasoline. We're on the driver's side. In the 7th inning, the Dodgers leading 4-0, and a chance to pick up yet another run with a runner at 3rd. That would be Terrio, and 1 out. For Wade LeBlanc, 4 earned runs. 2 of them he was just victimized, but the other 2 stand up against the Padre offense that has been thoroughly shut down. And now they ask Webb to restore a little order, and Matt Kemp followed by Casey Blake. Right-handers are hitting .234 against Webb, and the infield comes up. And Kemp ground ball to short. The play at the plate. The tag applied, and Terrio is out. So Kemp hits into a fielder's choice with Terrio erased from short to the plate. And that'll bring up Casey Blake. Nice try to avoid the tag by Terrio, but Torrealba's been around, didn't really go for the fake and just turned with him and tagged him out. 2 down. Casey Blake, double, single, popped up, 2 for 3. Matt Kemp at first, a threat to run, of course. Ryan Webb is a big guy, 6'6", 210 out of Clearwater. Fastball strike. He was drafted out of high school, and as we mentioned before, he's a chip off the old block. His dad, Hank, pitched in the major leagues for the Mets and briefly for the Dodgers. Originally signed by the A's. Never made it to Oakland. Did make it to San Diego last year. He has spent a little while going from San Diego to Portland to Sacramento, back to Portland, but back to San Diego. 0-1. Boy, hard throw. Kemp just did get back. The Padres acquired Webb in a deal with the A's. They sent Scott Hairston to Oakland. Well, Hairston is back here with San Diego, so they're teammates now. 0-1. 0-2. Webb throws hard. His fastball has been clocked at 96, and it's a pretty good sinker. Then he has a curveball. He also has a cutter. Ryan Webb. Padre bullpen has certainly been a source of strength for Bud Black. Oh, and 2. Blake with a double and a single, 2 for 3. Ball 1. Matt Kemp with 15 stolen bases, but he's been caught 13 times. There he goes. And no play. Torrealba backhanding a pitch out of the dirt. "16 stolen bases. No chance to get him on that kind of a pitch." So deuces wild with Casey. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. A runner at second. Dodgers lead 4-0. Fastball sinks low. 3-2. Four runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. And a roller to Tejada. Low throw, great pick by Adrian Gonzalez. So no runs, a man erased at the plate. Padilla going back to work, leading 4-0. into the game, and almost all of his 7 strikeouts are fastballs, except one. Watch and see. Fastball. Fastball. Same old stuff. And again. Then he kept going. High fastball. Down the middle. And there's the curveball. He only one. He threw that to Chris Denorfia, the center fielder. So Padilla, a brilliant 7, and he'll go to work in the 8th. Venable, Denorfia, and probably a hitter for Ryan Webb. There's the soap bubble, but it didn't find the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Venable walked intentionally and struck out. And comes right back. It's a familiar pattern. Soap bubble fastball, and the count 1-1. Show you how the Padres had been tied up. Last night, Jerry Hairston got a base hit in the 9th inning against Broxton, and they were 1 for 44. And finally broke through in the 7th inning to get back-to-back singles. Ludwig's line drive just off the glove of James Loney. Two and two. Fouled away. George Sherrill and Octavio Dotel are up again in the Dodger bullpen. Padilla had made 88 pitches coming into this inning. He has made as many as 112. Last game he pitched against San Diego. He only went 4 innings and made 90 pitches, so they're counting him and watching him. 2 and 2. Got him. Getting that fastball up, and Venable goes down. So for Padilla, he now has 8 strikeouts. High fastball. So the Padre hitters appear to be pressing a little bit. About 8 years ago, Padilla struck out 11. That would be his career high. This year, he topped that. No, he didn't. He had 9. There's the curveball, and it's backhanded by Terrio. And he has to smile. That thing was hit off the end of the bat. It looked like something out of a pool hall. It was almost a knuckleball leaving home plate, and Terrio was able to catch up to it. It was fluttering. Cabrera will be coming up. Everett Cabrera will be pinch hitting, which for him is quite an honor. He's hitting only 193. Cabrera is also from Nicaragua. So the chances of 2 fellas from that same small country. There's a soap bubble, and it's hit to Casey Blake. No soap. 1, 2, 3, and at the end it's 7.5, 4-0 Dodgers. Dodgers sitting quietly in the Dodger dugout. Scott Posednik is 1 for 4. That one was a fortunate base hit against Wade LeBlanc. Just a little fly ball. It looked like he swung at ball 4, and it dropped between Denorfia and Venable, and it meant 2 runs, and that changed the game completely. So it was a modest thing and thine own, but Posednik will take it, and the Dodgers will too. 2 changes for the Padres. Everett Cabrera, who pinch hit, stays in the game, along with Edward Mujica. So if you're keeping score, Cabrera stays in batting 9, and Mujica goes in Tejada's spot. Meanwhile, the Dodgers will have Loney, Carroll, and Ausmus in that order. Mujica, a very efficient reliever, earned run average 2.7, and a strike to Loney. James hitting .291. They moved. Let's see what they did in the infield. Tejada stays in. Thought we saw Cabrera going out there, but that would mean Tejada would have to come out. So if you are keeping score, just put Mujica in the number 9 slot. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball 2. Mujica is from Venezuela. 6'2", 220. 26 years old, originally signed by the Indians. Came up from the minor leagues to join Cleveland, rather remarkable, without an earned run average. 39 innings, 0-0-0. Foul ball right into the Padre dugout. So 2-2 the count. James had just gotten into the game in the 7th inning. Padilla had the no-hitter, and Ludwig ripped a line drive. Loney leaped in the air, and the ball just ticked off his glove and went into right field for the base hit. And perhaps there was a psychological letdown. Chase Headley came up, and Padilla gave up a single up the middle. So they went out and talked to him just to break the mood, and it worked. They got Torrealba to ground into a double play. And Padilla, from the looks of things, is going to give the bullpen a night off. He's also due to bat 4th in this inning. 3-2. And down goes Loney. Mujica's fastball, a real 2-seamer that seemed to sink. He also has a slider and a splitter. Working on a changeup. So he's got plenty of pitches to get the job done. Jamie Carroll. Single to center to drive in Casey Blake. Hit back to the box and struck out Sims. Ball 1. In there. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors for the Padres. Rick Honeycutt making Padilla smile. And a strike. We understand whenever Vicente Padilla pitches, Nicaragua kind of comes to a halt. Everybody's so interested. Representing the nation, he has 102 victories. Certainly extremely popular. Fouled away. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Hong Chi Kuo, Hairston, Tejada, and Gonzalez are due up in the 9th inning. Fastball, little roller, tough play, bare hand pick up and throw, high throw. Oh, Jamie beats it out. He didn't turn. Well, that'll go as a base hit. Headley making a good effort. the do-or-die play for the third baseman. Speared by Gonzalez. Carroll had the plate beaten. So Jamie is 2 for 4. And with 1 out, the batter is Brad Osmus. Remember, the Dodgers have lost the services of Russell Martin for 15 days. That incident last night at the plate where he tripped over Hundley's foot. And Russell is just going to have to sit and watch and listen to Ronnie Belliard for a while. A torn labrum of the hip. First time on the DL in 5 years. 1-1 the count to Brad Osmus. So Osmus at 41, and the rookie A.J. Ellis will have to carry the burden. And the Dodgers go through the week. They travel on Monday, and then they don't have another day off for 2 weeks. Down to second base goes Jamie Carroll. So for Jamie, a stolen base, and that would be his 7th. Ball just flying out of Torrealba's hands. So Jamie is 7 for 7. Tomorrow night, the concluding game of the 4-game series, Kevin Correa and Chad Billingsley. Did he? Yep, they're going to charge him with a strike. Mike Easterbrook, young umpire, 34, out of New Jersey. All right, 2-2 the count. Fastball off the plate. 3-2. Padilla is on deck, and Hung-Chi Kuo is kind of walking around in the bullpen, so we'll see. Talking to Kenny Howell. And down goes Osmus. So 2 out. And Padilla takes the windbreaker off, and he's coming up to hit. Padilla sacrificed, struck out, and singled. So allowing him to hit means he'll be facing the top of the Padre off in the 9th inning. Fastball, ball 1. Jerry Hairston is 0 for 3. Miguel Tejada is 0 for 3. Adrian Gonzalez 0 for 3. So the top of the Padre lineup, a collective 0 for 9. And they'll be coming up in the 9th inning. Padres don't have to worry about the Giants in the sense the Giants lost. But the Dodgers trying to make some noise and get to within 7. Two and 1 the count. We mentioned it last night, how those big leads can disappear in a hurry. In most recent memory, when Gene Mauch was managing the Philadelphia Phillies, that was 1964. The Phillies led by 6.5 games on September the 20th and lost. 2-2. Fastball fouled away. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Hung-Chi Kuo stopped throwing, and now Jonathan Broxton along with Kuo. But Padilla is going to take the mound in the 9th inning. And a ground ball up the middle. The night belongs to Vicente. Scoring is Carroll, and the Dodgers lead 5-0. And Padilla goes 2 for 3. Well, Padilla wearing Henry Aaron's old number, Willie McCovey's old number, and he's 2 for 3 with a run batted in. And now Scott Pusednik struck out, singled, and 2 fly balls, stole a base. One ball and 1 strike. Now, for this moment, there is not a ball being thrown in the Dodger bullpen. They're just kind of standing there and watching. Messrs. Quo and Broxton open for business. 2-1. Padilla, standing at first base, has 3 complete games in his career. He had a complete game 2 years ago for Texas. Then you have to go back 2002, a complete game, and 2003, a complete game. All 3 complete games shutouts. Well, he's got the Padres by the neck, 5-0 tonight. Remember how well he has pitched here at Dodger Stadium. Padilla here, coming into tonight's game, had an earned run average of 2, and he was holding the opposition to a 189 batting average. Got to be a little tired, huffing and puffing and running the bases. Another foul ball. Three and 2. Fastball for ball 4. So Mojica has given up 2 hits, a walk, and a stolen base. Dodgers lead 5-0. Darren Balsley going out to the mound to see if he can get him squared away. And the batter will be Ryan Theriot. Ryan grounded to second, grounded to third, struck out, reached on an error, was out at the plate on a ground ball to short. And his big play was back in the 2nd inning when he took a base hit away from Yorvit Torrealba. Theriot 0 for 4, hitting .275. 111 hits, and just about half of them have gone the other way, like that, in the gap, and that's going to score 2. And Theriot a double, and the Dodgers lead 7-0. So Edward Mojica is being pushed around here in the 8th inning. He's given up 3 hits and a walk, 3 runs. Padilla now with a 7-0 lead. And the batter will be Andre Ethier. Foul ball. What Padilla needs right now is a somewhat long at bat for Andre Ethier. I mean, here he is. He looks like he walked to the ballpark from Nicaragua, but He's also scored from second base. And that's tough after pitching a tough 8 innings. And it's going to be a long inning because that one is gone. Big night for Andre Ethier. 2 doubles and a 3-run home run. The Dodgers have hung a high 5 on the scoreboard and lead 9-0. Just a little reminder to San Diego that it is never easy with almost 2 months left. 9 runs, 12 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 2 hits for the Padres. High slicing foul ball that should go back into the stands. Andre, remember, swinging at a changeup and striking out earlier? Not this time. 3-run home run that bounces around. And the Dodgers lead 9-0. The paid attendance tonight, 48,988. 48,988. Check swing, that'll cost. Andre Ethier, 17 home runs, 62 runs batted in, and also 2 doubles tonight as well. And for Padilla, a chance to rest. And that's going to be strike 3 called. So Mojica had a 40-pitch inning, and the Dodgers lead 9-0. Favor of the Dodgers. For the Padres, the entire evening it's been no soap. However, there has been some soap. 4 bubbles thrown by Vicente. Here's one of them, 53 miles an hour. Here's another dandy, 53 miles an hour. Here's the third one for a strike at 50 miles an hour. And the last one to Adrian Gonzalez, and he's thrown out at first base. So Vicente, a 2-hitter, and now standing in his way, Hairston, Tejada, and Gonzalez. And he starts him with a fastball for a strike. Hairston 0 for 3. So he's had a very tough series. He's 1 for 12. Fastball hit to shallow right field. One out in the ninth, and Miguel Tejada coming up. Tonight's game so far equals the low hit game in Vicente's career that goes back to 1999. 8 years ago, a 2-hitter against Arizona. Tejada 0 for 3. Fastball, strike. He hit 95, and here he is in the 9th inning, having run the bases, scoring a run, and there's still some gas in the tank. 0-1. And another 0-2. Waiting on deck, Adrian Gonzalez, and you can see the pitch count now has reached 100. Wade LeBlanc made 107 in 6 1/3. Another foul ball. Tomorrow night, the concluding game of the series, as the Dodgers try to make it 3 in a row and kind of bring the Padres back to earth a little bit. It'll be Chad Billingsley against Kevin Correa. 0-2 to Tejada in the dirt. Hit 90 on that pitch, so he's still there. 101 pitches. One out in the ninth. Fastball in on the hands. That's the third time that Miguel Tejada strikes out tonight. It also picks up strikeout number 9 for Vicente Padilla. His career high is 11, and that was 8 years ago. And here he is with 9 strikeouts. The Dodgers put up that triangle defense with 2 out and Adrian Gonzalez at the plate. Soap bubble. 0-1. Crowd loves it. The hitters hate it. The pitchers love it. Little ground ball to short. And that will do it. A tremendous performance by Vicente Padilla. 9 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Dodgers, no runs, just 2 hits, 2 errors for the Padres, who've been blank for 17 innings, and there's 1 to go tomorrow night. The Dodgers now trailing the Padres by 7. The Giants lost, and they're Dodger fans because they remain only 1 back. And we'll turn the page and start all over again tomorrow. Correa and Billingsley. Dodgers have beaten the Padres 7 of 11. Stay tuned for Dodgers Live coming up next. Good night, everybody.